Fight over regulating drivers for companies such as Uber and Lyft in Austin could go to the state's highest court.
We have been following the developments for a while now. On May the 7th, voters will decide whether to approve new rules for these companies that deal with background checks for their drivers. Now, an Austin voter backed by Uber is challenging the ballot language approved by City Council. An Uber spokesperson calls that ballot wording confusing and inaccurate. The city is sticking by the language and says the council did its best to fairly represent the issue. KXAN investigator Kevin Schwaller looks at how much power the people who write the language have and if ballot wording can actually change an election.
Shall the city code be amended to
replaced with an ordinance that would repeal and prohibit required fingerprinting?
You know, it doesn't say anything about Uber or Lyft.
Instead, the ballot measure calls them transportation network companies. Uber claims other wording focuses too much on what would get repealed, like fingerprint background checks. It doesn't talk about what a yes vote includes, like a non-fingerprint background check and fees to the city.
I feel like if it was worded differently, I could maybe can make a more informed decision.
So how much of an effect does ballot language like this actually have? We found a study suggesting it depends on how much attention the issue gets before voters ever get to the polls.
The study in the Journal of Political Communication echoes what we heard from Nadine Gibson. She's writing her dissertation on election administration. She says ballot language is particularly important for voters on low publicity issues.
The cues that they're using to develop a decision are much less, so they're looking very closely at the words and the language.
The fact that this is a limited special election could also help voters.
There's a good likelihood that someone will know exactly what they're coming in for.
If any changes are on the way for this ballot, there are only a few days left to make them. Kevin Schwaller, KXAN, investigates.
The court documents say the county is supposed to lock down ballot language on Monday. A city spokesperson says Austin is ready to defend the actions it took as part of the election process. The attorney on the Uber and Lyft supporters side says the city has to respond to the court by the end of the day tomorrow. If you want to see the ballot language before you vote and read what the court is considering now, you can find this story on our website, kxan.com.